welcome here. My name is Marge Weeb and I'm privileged to chair the board of the Immigrant Centre. I am pleased to welcome you all here today. We have funders, we have some of our community partners, our wonderful Immigrant Centre staff. Man, I wish I could name you all. And our volunteers, my fellow board members, and many friends of the Centre. Thank you so much for being here today for the Immigrant Centre's annual general meeting. On this lovely June day, I'd also like to recognize that this is Filipino Heritage Month, Indigenous History Month, Pride Month, and that Friday will mark World Refugee Day. Saturday is National Indigenous Peoples Day, and on the 27th we'll celebrate Canadian Multiculturalism Day. So there's lots to celebrate in this month of June. Earlier this year, I had the privilege of seeing multiculturalism in action as I sat on a citizenship ceremony where 136 people from 26 countries were becoming new Canadians, including my sister-in-law, which is why I was there. Presiding over that ceremony was Judge Suzanne Carrière, Canada's first Métis citizenship judge. And in her comments, Judge Carrière defined reconciliation with this simple phrase, which she says she learned from our own Justice Murray Sinclair, whom we sadly lost just this past year. He defined reconciliation as, I want to be your friend and I want you to be mine. Isn't that beautiful? The judge said that the exact history, knowing all the facts and figuring out what happened when was all less important than what's happening now in this present day, to live life in that spirit, with the Indigenous, with our newcomers, with all of our fellow citizens, to say, I want to be your friend and I want you to be mine. So in that spirit, I want to acknowledge that this place where we meet and work is in Treaty 1 territory on the original lands of the Anishinaabe, the Ininewak, Anishinawak, Dakota Oyate, and Dene, and on the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our water comes from Treaty 3 territory, Shoal Lake 40 First Nation. We respect the treaties that were made on these lands, we acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past, and we dedicate ourselves to move forward in, let's say, friendship with Indigenous communities. And the annual general meeting of the Immigrant Centre Manitoba will now come to order. And as the chair of the board, in accordance with the bylaws of the corporation, I will preside at this meeting. A quorum is a majority of members entitled to vote, and I've confirmed that with the presence here today of all these board members, we do have a quorum. And in the interest of time, I just want to announce that we're going to accomplish all the required business of an annual meeting first, and then we're going to conclude with some information and inspiration as we hear from our CEO and also two guest speakers. The notice calling this meeting was sent to all directors, confirming it would be conducted in an in-person format, with voting being tabulated by a show of hands. An agenda was circulated to the board. May I please have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented? Thank you, Carrie. And a seconder to that motion? May I have a seconder? Thank you, Daniel. Are there any requests to amend the agenda? If none, may I have a show of hands to approve this motion? Thank you. The next item of business on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of last year's annual general meeting, which was held on June 18th, 2024. It was circulated in advance to our board, and our board secretary, Kim Stevens, was unable to be here today, so I've asked Vice Chair Gil Garcia to move the approval of the minutes. Thank you, Gil. May I have a seconder? Jolemy, thank you. Are there any changes required to the minutes that anyone noted? Okay, if not, all in favor? Thank you. As I sat down to write my report this year, a quote by Mother Teresa came to mind. She said, "You can do what I cannot do. I can do what you cannot do. Together, we can do great things." It is exactly this spirit of cooperation and teamwork that consistently helps the Immigrant Centre accomplish our vision of changing lives for the better, one newcomer at a time. Our CEO, management team, and staff are second to none, and I want to say a big thank you to each of them. I wish I could name them all, like I said before. I see so many faces and their knowledge, experience, passion, and kindness ensure that each newcomer who walks through the door is set up for success. Every day, thanks to these amazing people, the Centre delivers on its mission of helping newcomers succeed through personalized settlement plans and community partnerships. Those partnerships, to date with over 70 community organizations, are integral to our goal, ensuring that clients can be directed to places and people that will help with their specific needs or goals. And I know that some of those partner organizations are represented here today. I want to say thank you and welcome. As a board, what we can contribute is to do the work of good governance, to provide the framework for effective and sustainable operations. We've done that this year by reviewing our strategic priorities, by providing ongoing financial oversight, by updating policy and procedures documents, by formalizing a risk management policy, and by revisiting a succession planning process. I've been privileged to serve as chair of a diligent, insightful, and responsibility-focused board, and I'm grateful for each person who has volunteered their time and wisdom to this task. In addition to the board, we have over 200 volunteers who contributed more than 45,000 hours to the work of the Immigrant Centre in the past year. Isn't that incredible? I could not do what they do. Supporting English learners, assisting in nutrition and cooking classes, providing translations, and helping to come alongside clients and staff in many other practical ways. We are beyond grateful for them all. Finally, we can all not do what you can do. Those of you who are here as our guests today, we know that we would be ineffective without you. We require support, encouragement, community, and of course, funds. So in whatever capacity you came here today, we thank you. We are so appreciative that we have loyal funders, donors, colleagues, and supporters. Thank you for doing what you do so that we can do what we do. By helping newcomers succeed, we all succeed. Together, we're doing great things. The next item of business on the agenda is the tabling of the audited financial statements of the corporation for the financial year ended March 31st, 2025. These financial statements, together with the report of the auditor, are provided to all board members, and I believe I saw them also on the chairs here today, so you can look through those, and the highlights are also included in our annual report. I'll now call on our treasurer and chair of our finance committee, Yemi Olale, to present the audited financial statements. Yemi?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleased to report on the year-end financials for year-end March 31st, 2025. If you take a look at your AGM package, you will find the financial statement for the year. A few highlights on summary items. On the balance sheet, as at the end of financial year 2025, the center had a net asset balance of $390,820, which represents a 23% or $72,740 increase over the 2024 reported net assets balance of $318,080. The increase is attributable to the excess of revenue over expenses recorded in 2025 of $72,740. The center's total assets decreased by 4%, or $28,646, from $672,123 in 2024 to $643,477 in 2025. This increase is largely driven by a decrease in grant receivable as of March 31st, 2025. Total liabilities decreased by 29%, or $101,386, from $354,043 in 2024 to $252,650 $57 in 2025, primarily due to decreases in both accounts payable and accrued liabilities, as well as deferred revenue balances as of March 31st, 2025. Going to our operating statement, that's after the balance sheet. The center closed the year with a surplus of $72,740 as compared to the previous 2024 surplus of $5,642. Revenues increased by 2% or by $63,361 from $3,222,211 in 2024 to $3,285,572 in 2025. This positive performance was driven primarily by a combination of 14% increase in revenue in the language bank from $273,092 in 2024 to $312,551 in 2025, coupled with a 1% increase in operating grants from $2,949,119 in 2024 to $2,973,021 in 2025. This increase in operating grants is primarily driven by additional funding from the $30,000 Winnipeg Foundation Celebrate 150 Acts grant in 2025. The center's operating expenses were effectively flat to last year, with a $2,504 decrease from the $3,213,691 in 2024 to $3,211,187 in 2025. On behalf of the Immigrant Centre, I'd like to thank our funders for their continued strong support that has allowed us to maintain and grow services in response to the growing needs of our clients. Our funders are listed in our audited financial statement on page 12, note 10. Now, with regards to the audit and audit notes, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our auditors, Rollock and Robert, for their work on our March 31st, 2025 financial statement. Our auditors issued a clean audit opinion on the basis that the audit evidence provided by management was sufficient and appropriate. Thank you, and this concludes my report for the year.
So in front of that, I'll just ask you to make the motion.
Okay, yeah.
Does anyone have any questions on our financial statements? We have our CFO here as well as Yemi. They can answer any questions you might have. I don't see any hands. In that case, Yemi, would you make the motion, please, to approve the financial statements?
I'd like to raise a motion to approve the financial statement for the year end 2025.
Do we have a seconder? Anastasia, thank you.
Thank you.
May I have see a show of hands to accept that motion, please? Thank you. Yemi, would you go on to make the next motion about the auditors?
Yeah. I'd like to move a motion that the firm of Rollock and Robert be reappointed as auditors of the corporation until the next annual meeting of members, and that the directors be authorized to confirm remuneration of the auditors.
Thank you, Yemi. Is there a seconder? Jim, thank you very much. All in favor? Wonderful. Thank you, Yemi.
Thanks.
The next agenda item is the election of directors, but I'm going to just pause for a moment. The slate of directors would normally be presented by the chair of our governance committee, which for the last 2 years has been Holly Tupin, who is unable to be here today. The slate will be presented on her behalf, but I would like to take some time to recognize Holly, as well as 2 other directors who have completed their terms and will be leaving the board. Holly Toupin joined the board in 2014 and served as chair from 2021 to 2023. With her professional background at RBC and her training in not-for-profit governance, Holly has been a huge asset in guiding the Immigrant Centre to a new standard of excellence, particularly in human resource and governance policies and practices. She chaired those two committees these last 2 years and came alongside me as chair in countless ways. Holly went above and beyond in that for the last 3 years she's lived in BC, and she took personal initiative to attend meetings and stay active on the board and committees. I think that's just how much she loved the Immigrant Centre. She was truly a responsibility-focused, committed volunteer, and we were so grateful for her leadership. And also we very much wish her well in her new activities out there in BC. Dr. Lori Wilkinson is also not able to be here today, but she joined the board in 2017 and most recently served on the executive as vice chair. We're very sorry to see her go. She's been an invaluable resource to the board. As a distinguished professor at University of Manitoba and Canadian Research Chair in Migration Futures, she brought a wealth of both data and insight into our discussions and helped those of us not involved in the sector to better understand the trends, the challenges, and the impact of the immigration and resettlement of newcomers. We are very grateful for her generosity in sharing her time and knowledge with us. And we're also bidding farewell today to Yemi Olale. Yemi joined the board in 2021 and has been acting as treasurer and overseeing the finance committee ever since. As a chartered professional accountant, his expertise, insight, and attention to detail has been a wonderful asset to the financial oversight responsibilities of our board. Thank you so much, Yemi, for your commitment to the work of the Centre. We are sorry to see you go, and we wish you all the very best for your future. It's always hard to see good people leave the board, but the upside is that new people can participate and bring their skills, experience, and wisdom to continue the work. I'd like to call on Daniel Hildebrandt, a member of our governance committee, to move the slate of directors for the 2025-26 board year.
Okay. The motion for the election of directors is as follows. The following directors will be retiring from the board: Holly Toupin, Lori Wilkinson, and Yemi Olale. We're pleased to introduce our new directors, who will be starting one of 2 3-year terms. Those would be Kathleen Mahalik, Daniel Edwards, and James McCandless, or McClandress. Apologies. I propose, as recommended by the Board of Directors, that the following directors be re-elected to the board to continue in their first 3-year term, being Jalomi James, Carrie Swan, Edmund Opoku-Gaiman, Ray Silvius, and I propose, as recommended by the Board of Directors, that the following directors be re-elected to the board to continue their second 3-year term: Gil Garcia, Anastasia Bainova, and Daniel Hildebrandt. Finally, I propose, as recommended by the Board of Directors, that the following individuals be re-elected to the board to continue in an executive role: Marge Weeb and Kim Stevens. I would put that motion forward.
Great. I have a seconder. Jalomi, thank you. All in favor? Awesome. Thank you. Carried. As I said, we still have more to enjoy here today, but now we've come to the end of the required business of an AGM. Is there any business to address or any questions arising before we adjourn this portion? Board members, did you think of anything we need to take care of? Okay, seeing none, I would ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting. Thank you, Jim. May I have a seconder? Anastasia, thank you. All in favor? Wonderful. We've now completed the required business of this annual general meeting, and I would now like to call on our CEO, Jorge Fernandez, for his report.
Well, first I want to thank you for coming to our meeting. It's good to see so many familiar faces who are helping us to do our work. And when we have this meeting, it's good to see the friends here. Also, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for coming to our celebration last year when the Immigrant Center was celebrating 75 years of services. It was good to see all the friends, all the funders, all the donors from the Immigrant Center coming to support us. We wanted to be an event that we share with you the passion that the Immigrant Center has working with newcomers. And we are doing that for 75 years, and we are going to continue doing that for the next years. All the work we do here in the Immigrant Center is possible thanks to the support of our funders and donors who continue to support us for all these years. So to the funders, thank you for everything you do for us, and thank you for supporting us year after year. So thank you very much. I want to thank the board of directors and the chair March for all the support during these years. And we want to thank you for all the support, all the expertise you bring to the Immigrant Center. So thank you very much. And thank you, March. Also, I want to thank the board members who are leaving the board, Holly, Lori, and Jamie. It was a pleasure to work with them. They brought a lot of expertise. They were helping the Immigrant Center in so many aspects. So we wish them all the best, and we hope that they're going to continue being friends of the Immigrant Center. I want to thank our volunteers who support our work. And we can see some volunteers here today from Rogers and some of our clients who are taking some videos and some pictures for the event. So Immigrant Center, we have 200 volunteers who always are helping the Immigrant Center. All the time when we have events and we have people, when we bring tours here, we are able to recruit volunteers. So it's a good thing that they're coming, they're using the expertise, the language to support the Immigrant Center. So thank you for all the volunteers. I want to thank all the partners. Immigrant Center is not able to do all the work alone, so we work with different partners, and we have some partners here. So thank you for your support. Thank you for helping us to work with our clients. Programs we don't have here, we work with our partners. Sometimes they come here to the Immigrant Center. Sometimes we go to their office. So thank you for the partners who are here. Thank you for supporting the Immigrant Center. And finally, I want to thank the staff for your dedication, passion, integrity, and commitment. I'm incredibly proud to work with you. You know, working with you every year is a challenge. It's amazing how we learn things, how things are changing in immigration, in the health department and everything. Always we are updating our knowledge. And when I come here and I see 42 people working every day without complaints, working hard, sometimes we have more clients. It's amazing how you can do it. So I'm very proud that you are doing that. Today is a special day for me. June 17, 1985, I came to Canada. So it's 40 years. It's 40 years since I came to Canada. And one of the first places I came, it was in that time it was the International Center. So it was good to go to a place when somebody was going to extend the hand and say, welcome, what do you need? You don't speak the language, you have to work in your accreditation, you need employment. So it was good to come to the International Center at that time, now Immigrant Center, and get the support. Now, 32 years later, I'm working here, and I'm making sure that all the needs of newcomers, we can do that. And I can see the staff always coming to me and say, what about this? Can we do this? Can we work with temporary residents? Can we work with Canadian citizens? Can we work with permanent residents? So I say, yes, that's why we're here. Our doors are always open. That's why I'm proud when I talk about the Immigrant Center, that this organization is always open for anybody who comes here. We have people who comes every time, every day, and can be indigenous, can be Canadian citizens, permanent residents, temporary residents, refugee claimants. They're coming and they're asking for support. So we are here to help them. And you guys, the staff, are amazing. I'm proud. I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be working with you. Somebody asked me, how's the feeling to work for the Immigrant Center? I said, you know what? For me, it's the best job. I wish I'm going to be here for at least another 2 years more. But to come in here and see how we can help different people when they move to a new country is a challenge. You are leaving everything behind. You're leaving your family, your employment, your education, and you're coming to a new country when you want to be successful. And I can see most of our clients are successful. And the ones that are not successful, sometimes they come to me and say, Jorge, I make the worst decision moving to Canada. I would say, why? Because I was an engineer, I'm not able to work in my profession, I don't know the language. I say, yes. But what happened with your kids? I can see your kids as an engineer, as a physician. So that's the successes of us as immigrants. And every place you go, Manitoba is a province of immigrants. And you see people working in the government, you see people MLS, and one of the best places to train the staff to work for the government is the Immigrant Centre. We have 10 of our workers are working for the province of Manitoba, so we train the staff, and the province hire them to work for them. And IRCC does the same sometimes. They have 3 workers for now. So it's good to see that. It's good to work with you guys, and that's why I want to thank you. And we are going to have a special event, August the 1st, when we are going to recognize the staff. Sometimes because of COVID, we changed so many things, and we didn't recognize the staff who are working here for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and 20 years. And the reason you're working is because you love your job and you like to help people. So we will have a big celebration, and so be prepared, because I want to do something special for you, and I will be posting what is going to happen there. I want to thank the staff who helped us to decorate this room, who is helping us with the food. There's a lot of work and preparing annual reports. So thank you, Tony, Maria, Teresa, Milena, Walter, who was Claudia, who was helping us today. So thank you very much for everything you do for the Immigrant Centre.
Thank you, Jorge.
I look forward to all that we can accomplish in the next year. There is needs. Immigrants are going to be coming always to Canada, and there is immigrants who came 60 years, 70 years ago. They still need help. And we are seeing the cases from some people who came from Germany, from Italy. They're coming, they're becoming Canadian citizens, but they want to they want to come to the Immigrant Centre to get support to apply for the citizenship. And when the ceremony is happening, they want to be here. So the needs are there, and we are going to continue doing this job. So thank you very much to everybody who's here for the support, and we hope you enjoy the next part of the meeting. We are going to hear from some of our clients, and after that we'll have some lunch to be served, and we can network and meet each other. So thank you very much. Now, Rosaline is going to introduce one of our clients.
Thank you so much, Jorge. He thanked everybody, but we need to thank him too. We have the kindest CEO here in Manitoba, in Canada. So thank you. Having a great leader makes a huge difference. So thank you, Jorge, for your leadership. And magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. That's good afternoon in Filipino language, celebrating Filipino heritage. So good afternoon to our distinguished guests, our funders, our volunteers, board members, and community partners. It is an honor to introduce one of our guest speakers for today. It is always inspiring to hear stories that comes into full circle. And I think that one of our guest speakers is one of them. Pastor Neil came to Immigrant Centre 2 months ago. He was trying to look for an agency to partner who works with newcomers. We talked a little bit, and I provided him with more information and other agencies also that he can connect. After 2 months, he came back, and he wanted to partner with us and help many newcomers. And then we started to give him a tour. As we give him a tour, little that we know that he was our client here like 10 years ago, and he remembered who his worker was, which is not working here. So I will let Pastor Neil to tell his story of becoming a client here, Immigrant Centre becoming a part of his journey, and is now helping many newcomers. Again, that's one of the stories of ripple effect. The things or the clients that we help at this time, maybe we cannot see the effects right now, but many years forward, it reached further, and many people are being helped. So let me all welcome Pastor Neil Tagaraw, and let's please give him a warm
Thank you so much, Rosalind Bincola, and thank you for the kind words. You know, that kind words is really make a sparks in my heart. That comes from Immigrant Centre. By the way, thank you, Jorge. I know you were the one who also, the two of you mentioned that, oh, when I shared something, I saw someone who gave me an advice of what to do to pursue dreams. And you mentioned about Horona, right? And he's not here. That was in 2009 when we arrived. And I was kind of, you mentioned, well, maybe you can give a testimony. So I'm here. Thank you so much for this privilege to share back the story of success of how the Immigrant Centre has really helped me and my wife my 2 kids, and of course we have 2 Canadian additionals. So I have 4 kids right now. So 2 made in the Philippines, 8 and 6 years old at the time, and now after 14 years, because of the success, the Immigrant Centre has been a contributing factor for that we were able to achieve our dream, and we had additional 2, and they are 10 and 8 years old at this time. So again, thank you so much. We appreciate your the program the Immigrant Centre has really done. Not only to me, but to all immigrants, wherever they are from around the world. So my name is Pastor Neil Tegrao. I'm a pastor now, West Park Seventh-day Adventist Church. And I stand here because of that wonderful blessings that I have have received together with my wife. We arrived here 2009. And with all the excitement and all the dreams that we can have, and it's really good. The honeymoon period was really, really good. But after that, we're not able to get a job. And that's the transition. We're crying. Have we decided the right decision? Because we got a good job back home. And we were really trying our best. And this center has been a great help for us to, one word that I was saying, wait a minute, this is a private sector? Because when you say private sector, in the Philippines, private sector, they will give an extra mile of entertaining you, welcome you, because in the government, sorry to say that, but there's sometimes like, oh, you just wait, you line up, or the service kind of different. And I said, I appreciate the services that really make us feel home. And because of that, coming back with all the processes that they have, whether it's SIN or those things that we need, with very welcoming, empathetic listener, good listener. And you have made a difference in our lives that make us feel home in spite of those, afterwards after the honeymoon period that we have. That conversation that I would like to point out right now with Horona. I was asking him, how did you get your job? I said, you know what, I have gone through a lot of process as well, and I studied back. I said, how can I get mine too? I know I love the work they have. After 3 months of trying our best to find a job, we didn't get one until we ended up with of course, a beautiful work. I enjoyed it in Leila McDonald's, that my wife and I get a job there. But we have deep in our hearts the dream. My wife is a teacher for 9 years, and I am also a pastor. So when we had a conversation, he said, you pursue your dream. I can see in you. Just pursue your dream. And with that kind words, it sparks in our hearts. My wife and I were working. He said, we will search where we can find, just because of that kind words that we got from this center. And after 3 years, I got my certification, clinical pastor education, and my wife, not only taking an education, of course, maybe a teacher or assistant teacher, but says, I'm going to pursue my dream to be a teacher. So she really worked hard for 4 years to study. And you know those words coming from? Going back to the encouragement that we got from the center. So I worked very hard from the bottom. I was a janitor in my church before. I was also kind of Bible worker, and I also studying as a chaplain and work in health sciences part-time in Rivera Company until I ended up a director of spiritual care after many years. And right now in a bigger congregation, they asked me to be a pastor. It didn't happen overnight, but the words ripple and encouragement that sparks in my heart really continue to ripple, and that's what makes our wives, my wife and I, really have that determination to achieve our goal. So it's really a blessing. Now, I just started my congregation just 2 years ago, and I'm thinking of paying back, because we got my wife a job, and I had a job as well, and I'm now in a community. And I heard that I know government can provide something for all the citizens, but there are some gaps. So we have a vision. A vision is youth connected to Christ in an environment of love and the focus of new immigrants. So that makes now the thinking process of where do we get partners? So I was searching around, and it comes back again to Immigrant Centre. And that's the reason why that I ended up with the office of Rosalind Advincola, and we had a good conversation because she shared something that we could provide as well. Not only one help, but it's gonna be a sustainable one because we kind of have that goal to help new immigrants as we are being helped as well. So it's a process, and we had that, and I have the group of young people. We call it torchbearer. We have the young ones. I think it's an equivalent of Boy Scout or Girl Scout something. And the director is really so excited, and they have a meeting, and they organize that with the support of the whole church. And he is now asking me, Pastor Neil, what are the names of those new immigrants that we're going to help? Can you make a follow-up to Rosalind Advincola? And I know for sure that Rosalind has been so many things to prepare for this AGM, and she mentioned that a while ago. And that is the process that we are in right now, that we are just kind of waiting for a time, because by July 24, I think, our group, the Torchbearer, wanting to start the giving of those gaps or whatever we can provide. And that's an amazing experience that we have. I'm so happy to partner and to work alongside an Immigrant Centre, because we have experienced the wonderful blessings of your kindness, of the team, of your care and compassion, not only to one culture, but to all cultures around the world that are coming here. So that's what I'm saying. Thank you so much. And I am hoping to continue on partnering with you. I'm a byproduct of Immigrant Centre, of your goodness. And I know you will say, you say that I'm going to give you the number of Horona.
Yes.
And I'm going to call, because he was the one who said, can you email me of the progress of what you have? And I forgot his email. I don't have any communication. And I'm going to give him the words of appreciation of his kindness. That sparks and it make into brochure to my family. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lorena Elder. I'm a settlement facilitator here at Immigrant Centre. And today, I'm proud to introduce one of our outstanding clients, Sandra Alzamora. Sandra arrived in Canada from Peru in 2022. Like many newcomers, she faced challenge, new language, a new job market, and uncertainty of starting over. But Sandra never gave up. Sandra is a shining example of what happens when people are given support, opportunity, and a place to belong in. Please join me in welcoming Sandra Alzamora. She shared a few words.
Thank you, Lorena, for your kind words. I have a lot of feelings right now, actually, and I just want to say, good afternoon, everybody, and my name is Sandra, and I'm truly honored to be here, especially today, and I'm originally from Peru, and I came to Canada with a lot of full dreams and expectations, but as a newcomer, right, I didn't know that the starting over is just so hard. I just want to thank to the Immigrant Centre for the amazing and meaningful work that you do here, to the organizations of this event, and also to Lorena. A special thanks because she was an amazing person who stood by my side in all my journey. To Jorge, whose dedication always opens doors to many newcomers and like me, and also a special person who is right now with me, Bill. He's my family. And I just want to say that the Immigrant Center is just so special for me. It just gave me the support. It just not gave me only the support, it gave me the strength to reclaim my voice, honor myself, and begin again. Is with organizations like this, it reminds me that there is a hope, and the hope is real. So through the guidance, through the support, and the people who were here, it just makes a place that it feels like a true community for me, and I think for everybody. And I'm so grateful to be one of the many stories that the organization shaped, and to share my story, a small part of my story, that is just not only about my story, like my story actually, it's just a reflection that everything is possible. And I just want to say as well that something that I've learned through here in my journey is just knowledge is just really powerful, and that even when we are having some challenges in life, we should speak. Even when our voice is just shaking and breaking, we should speak. And because when we're seen, when we're supported, when we are empowered, I think that everything is possible. And thank you so much from my bottom of my heart. Thanks.
Oh my. Thank you so much, Pastor Neil and Sandra, for sharing your stories with us. It's you know, for those of all of us who work in various ways to make the center possible and to make it successful, sustainable, to hear those stories gives us so much inspiration to move forward. And we just wish you all the best in your continued Canadian journey. Pastor, God bless you as you set up community for newcomers. I mean, that really is what we're hoping, that when people arrive here that they'll find community. And so you're going to help to do that. So thank you for that. And Sandra, in whatever direction life takes you here in Canada, we wish you much success and joy in this Canadian life for you. Wasn't that great? I'm just inspired. Thank you so much. We are inviting everyone to stay for a buffet lunch. It will be moving through the kitchen here across the hall, and then you can bring your plate back here to enjoy that lunch together. I just want to remind the board members, if you can stay for just a few minutes, we'll just gather here in the back corner to just address the 2 motions that we have to take care of after this meeting. And once again, thank you so much for everyone for coming. It takes all of us to help newcomers succeed, and by doing that, we build not only a strong community, but a civil society. And with everything that's going on in the world, these little places of hope that we have here at 100 Adelaide Street is just that more valuable. So continued strength and wisdom for everything you do, Jorge, and your team as we move forward into this next season. Enjoy your lunch. We are dismissed. Thank you, everyone.